I stole this thumbnail and you should be stealing too. Well, not really, but I'll get into it in just a second. I want to start this video off by showing you some of what the big creators on this platform are doing, because they're the ones to look at to see what can do well on this platform and how it can help you also do well on the platform. The biggest creators on YouTube are not inventing new ideas. They're just remixing old ones. And the same can be said for Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts as well, so short form and long form. No one is quote unquote creating new content. People are just remixing old content and putting their own spin on it, or adding something new that they didn't have previously on the previous rendition. So let's look at the king of YouTube himself, Mr. Beast. As we scroll down this sort of list of Mr. Beast thumbnails, you can see maybe not exact similarities, but there are so many things that are similar about each one. The physical expressions in these two, the sort of hand coming out in a lot of them, and this sort of surprise look. And all of them have this sort of grandiose feeling about them. They all have this unbelievable sort of I need to click on this and see what the hell is going on sort of vibe about it. And that's the thing that Mr. Beast does very, very well. If we keep scrolling, it's all him smiling, all him doing crazy faces, stuff like that. And his team does this super, super well. But he's not doing anything new here. If we're just looking at the thumbnails, you can see that a lot of these are similar. And a lot of them, I bet you, are built off of previous ones that have done well. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, Mr. Beast does all these crazy, crazy ideas. How is he copying someone? Well, he's copying himself. He's coming up with new ideas that he found from other people and is building on them a little bit more, or a lot more in his case, and he is keeping the grandiose feeling about all of his videos. And that's the thing that is similar, and he is copying the vibe of every single video he does, because that's what works. That's what works for him. That's why he gets hundreds of millions of views on each single one of his videos. So Mr. Beast copies himself, and a ton of other people copy Mr. Beast. But if you're looking at more educational content, you can see this even more. Knowledge gets passed down through generation to generation, and now that the internet is much more popular, people can share information like crazy over the internet. So inspiration is everywhere to be seen, and people condense that information into knowledge that they can then teach to other people. Anyone who is teaching anything on this platform, including myself, learned what they knew from someone else, either that be online or in person. And then if they want to teach someone online, they condense that information down into digestible form, or they make it a different style in order for their audience to digest whatever they're doing. The same can be said for entertainment creators, like I said, Mr. Beast, but also gaming videos. A lot of people bounce ideas off of each other and create similar thumbnails and similar video ideas with the same games. There's a myth of totally original ideas going around on the internet. And the thing is, there's no such thing as a completely original idea, or at least they are super, super rare. Now that the internet has come about, so many things have been tried and tested before that if you think that something hasn't been done, well, it probably has. Everything from music. If you ever listen to a piece of music and you can hear something in the background that sounds similar, that's probably a music sample. That's something taken from another song and put into a new song to make the new song sound good. And also the producers and the artists build off of that to create a totally new sounding song. And a lot of songs which are super, super popular have samples in them that make the song what it is. You go to any single interview of any actor, any director, anything like that, and they will say who they are inspired by and what they take from them. So many big directors are inspired by all of the old movies and old movie directors, and all of the actors are inspired by older actors that came before them. And they take stuff that they love about them and put them into themselves and add something new that they have. But it's not completely original. But I use the term copying and stealing lightly, because you do not want to copy and you do not want to steal. You want to take inspiration and then act upon it and add something new to it, or add something that you bring to the table. And especially if you're making YouTube videos, the algorithm does not reward originality. It's very, very rare that people get famous because of their personality. People on YouTube get more views and get more fame because they copied other formats that worked. And then from there, if the audience likes their personality, then they will continue to follow them for their personality. So the algorithm rewards patterns that perform very, very well. So thumbnails that work very well. You can see that the Mr. Beast thumbnails are all sort of similar in vibe because those are the ones that do very, very well. and the sort of I did blank in blank amount of time, or I bought a private island and hosted a game show event on it, those videos do very, very well because they're one, sort of greater than life, sort of I did this crazy thing, but also it could be educational and just bring something new to the table or reframe it to seem like it's something new being brought to the table, but it's just another way of synthesizing that information that the creator learned from someone else so that the audience can learn it better and synthesize that content into their own knowledge. Your goal should be to get as many eyeballs on your content as possible, deliver value, and then monetize. The goal for a lot of creators is to start to make money online. And don't be ashamed by that. There are now thousands of ways of making money online. You can have affiliate links, you can have brand sponsorships, you can make money with YouTube AdSense, with TikTok AdSense, or you could create a product, or you could create a coaching service, anything like that. But you can't help anyone and you cannot deliver value if no one sees your content. And MrBeast puts this well.
And then there are ideas that are like the purple cow idea, which is what I try to do, which are things that make you go, what the fuck? I've never seen that. Like, I have to click this or I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight because like, why is this video? No way they did this, right?
And there have been so many aspects of this video that I have taken inspiration from other creators, such as the thumbnail. I'm sure you saw that thumbnail and were like, what the hell is this video? And I took that from a very, very popular Minecraft video. The hook from this video, I took from hundreds of hours of research looking at other creators to see what hooks did well in their videos. And these glasses, I took from Ed Lawrence because he has a signature look where he puts colored glasses on and everyone knows it's him. So now that we've gone through that and we've gone through why you should start taking inspiration or quote unquote copying other people, now we're gonna look at why these thumbnails work and how I use that to my advantage to get you to click on this video. So here we have the original thumbnail and title. You can see down here, it doesn't have a ton of views, but this screenshot was taken 12 days after this video was posted. I think this video went on to get like 21 million views or something like that. And the reason why this did so well is because it is absurd. Have you ever seen anything like this? I think there were a few channels who actually made videos about the greatest thumbnails in the history of YouTube, and this was one of them, because it is just so absurd. Can I beat Minecraft while beating myself? I mean, you cannot get more absurd than that. And it causes people to click on the video, and this person made so much money from this video because he got eyeballs on his video. And he just made something that was so absurd and what I call a purple cow, which basically means you're going down the road and you see a purple cow instead of a regular cow. You're stopping and you look at this video. You stop and you look at this cow. So that's the same thing that this video is doing exactly. You're stopping and you're looking and you're clicking on the video because you can't help yourself, because you're like, what is this video? I need to see this. And so I took inspiration from this video and I thought, you know what? Why not? I've been posting these generic videos with generic thumbnails of what works in my niche. And I thought, you know what? I am going to make myself stand out. I am going to make sure that people see my thumbnail and I get as many eyeballs on my content as possible so I can deliver as much content as I can. So this is the photo I took. This is me in my backyard looking out into the distance, trying to get the best resemblance of this thumbnail as possible. So this Minecraft person is looking out into the distance, and then me looking out into the distance as well. And then you can go into AI or Photoshop, whatever you use, and you can make it your own. So I ended up making this. This is the first rendition of the thumbnail. And this is basically just me basically in the same environment, same Minecraft environment. It's not the same exact font of the video, but it's the same shadow and it gets the job done. Then I made it my own. I edited it and I made it so I was working at a desk, and this is how you make it your own. You add your own spin on it. So if you're watching this video could have gone super viral. It could have gone 21 million views, or it could have gotten 10 views. But the reason why those 10 people clicked on this video is because this thumbnail made them click on it, whether it was because they thought, what is this idiot doing? This idiot is stupid. I'm watching this video so I can go comment, I hate your videos and you're stupid. Or those people clicked on this video because of this thumbnail, because it was so absurd and it was that purple cow in the field that they had to stop and look at. And I made it myself because I am the one talking to you about how to remix information in your own head to make content and to try to get as many eyeballs on your content as possible. So here is a 3-step creative framework that you can do right now to synthesize other people's content, get ideas, get inspiration, and copy other people to make sure that your content gets seen and that your value gets taught to other people. Because our main goal is to provide value to other people, but the only way we can do that is get other people to watch our content. So step number 1 is you have to build a reference folder. I'm actually gonna pull up my reference folder right now. I use Freeform on my computer. And this was one that I did a while ago when I was making self-improvement content. But I went in and I clicked on self-improvement YouTubers' thumbnails that were doing very, very well. And I screenshotted them and I put them in this reference folder because you need to see what's doing well. You need to see why it's doing well, whether that be the colors, whether that be the text on screen, whether that be because it is so absolutely absurd that everyone has to click on it. And you have to put them in a way that you can see them, you can study them, and you can synthesize all that content into your brain and make sure that you make the best thumbnails or titles as possible. So you can see here, I have a group of thumbnails which are from Hamza Ahmed, and Hamza has a ton of super popular videos from about 3 years ago, and you just go in and you see why those did well. So for instance, let's go to this first video right here. Why did this do well? Well, first of all, he had already been posting content before. So I see a lot of people who are like, go viral from 0 followers, but having a previous following and then just building off of that makes it so much easier to go viral. But anyway, the reason why this one did very well is because it hit on a pain point. That's another way that you can really get a lot of views, if the pain point really hits with your audience. And as you may not know, Hamza's audience does not talk to girls. They have no life. But anyway, I'm kidding. But anyway, you can see here that it's the goal that the audience wants. It's Hamza talking to a girl and the girl smiling and sort of blushing here. And the title is How Girls Really Want You to Talk to Them. That hits on a pain point that the viewers have because none of them talk to girls, and it incentivizes them because you can see here that Hamza is talking to a girl and he knows how to make them laugh or whatever. And it's just stuff like that. You go through every single one, you make a few notes on them, and you just see why it did well. And then maybe after you do all of that, you can go into the video and see what he actually has to say. But I think 70% of it is title and thumbnail. I don't even think 50% of it. I think 70% of YouTube is title and thumbnail, because if you're going to get any views at all, you need to get people to click on your videos. And once you get people to click on your videos, then you can optimize whatever script you want to have or whatever hook you want to put in the video. But I would say first, title and thumbnail. Second, hook. 3, body paragraph. You gotta do those in those order. So now, building off of the first step, the second step is strip it down to a blueprint. Like I said before, take note on what did well and condense it into a short page. What is the core concept that made either that singular piece of content work or the content as a whole? Why did it do well? Because clearly people want to see it, and people clearly engaged with it because they kept coming back and they kept watching more and more videos. This could be anything from a curiosity gap. This could be anything from a pain point, like I said before. This could be relatable, or it could just be absurd, like the one that you're watching right now. But separate the format from the content. You can make thumbnails exactly like Hamza and make it in the tech niche, make videos in the tech niche. Maybe you need to change more things around, but you can take variables from different people's content and just make it your own. The format of things is fair game. You can do whatever you want with them, but it's the content of the actual video or the content of the image which makes it work for you. And finally, step 3, rebuild it in your world. Transplant the blueprint you made in step 2 into your niche. Building, like I said off before, once you make the sort of synthesized version of all of this content, you need to make it your own. So just do some experimenting, do some brainstorming. Being a small creator is one of the best things because you can experiment as much as you want until you get a viral video. You can have 0 views and experiment on so many different variables before worrying about damaging engagement, because you can do whatever you want. You can experiment with thumbnails, experiment with titles, experiment with the body of the actual video, although you should focus on thumbnail and title first. And the best way that I can show it making your own is with thumbnails. You can put your own face, you can put your own spin on it, but this also applies to titles, video structure, and even entire scripts, or even entire series concepts. But here's what not to do. You do not want to rip off exactly what the other person is doing. I don't know if that's illegal, it probably is, but you do not want to copy everything line for line, or in terms of thumbnails, pixel for pixel. It's not creative, it's pretty shitty, and you will burn out quickly. So don't copy the thumbnail and do not copy the substance, because if you copy the substance of the video, people may click on your video, but people will hate you and will start to mistrust you and not come back to your content ever again. You will get hate comments, you will get dislikes, and no one will ever buy from you, or you will not get monetized on YouTube because of it. So a good way to gauge if your video is original enough: put it side by side with the other video. If it feels like a knockoff rather than a different creator talking about a similar topic, then you've gone too far. You want to take inspiration from people, you want to act on it, but you do not want to copy them, because that will not build a good audience and you will, quite frankly, not be a good person. So what are the things we learned? 1, you do not have to reinvent the wheel. Take other inspirations, take other creators' thumbnails, structures, etc., and try to make it your own. People take inspiration from other people all the time: movie directors, actors, YouTubers, even Mr. Beast takes inspiration from his own videos that do well because they do so well. Number 2, every creator that you learn from has learned their stuff from someone else. Iman Gadzhi has learned a lot of the stuff he teaches from Sam Ovens. The chain of creative copywriting is just how culture works. You gain inspiration from other people, and then you make it your own, and your audience loves it because you put your spin on it. And the third thing is, give yourself permission to study what works. You don't need to make it original. Like, I've been in this battle with myself for a while that I need to make everything original. I want me to be me, but then I get no views. And so how can I provide value, and how can I be the person who creates a ton of value, and how do I become the person that I want to be on YouTube if I don't get any views? I can't. And so you need to study what works. You need to study what works with other creators, what doesn't work with other creators, and you need to make it your own. So I want you to go find a thumbnail right now that made you stop and click on it. Now remake that for your niche, and then drop it in the comments for everyone to see, because I want to see how many people we can get blown up from this video because they are synthesizing other people's ideas and other people's content and making that their own. So please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will be posting a lot more valuable content in the future. So I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.